friends, so today we read the book Never Let Your Princess Paint with Her Unicorn. Now, I'm sure if you've had me before, we've probably read this book. I love this book because we start with something that's kind of messy and kind of a mistake, and it turns into something beautiful, right? So today, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do the same thing. So I have this piece of paper here that I have created this beautiful masterpiece on. So today we're working on using different types of mediums and maybe some unconventional art supplies to create an artwork. And so we're going to talk about how practice and exploring with new or old techniques in new ways can affect your artwork, okay? So what you're going to need is your sketchbook or a piece of paper, and you're going to need just some random stuff. Alright guys, and so you're just going to need a piece of paper or your sketchbook and just a bunch of random stuff. So I got one of our kindness rocks that we've painted before, and I have my glue stick, and I have some markers, and I have a dry erase marker, and I found this little triangle piece of paper. So I want you to try to get just a bunch of random things and see if you can use them in ways you're not technically supposed to. So what I did is, do you see how the bottom of my glue stick is blue? Or this one's even better. See, I have some blue or red. So what I decided to do is I decided to color on the bottom of my glue stick right here. And I wanted to see what would happen when I put ink on it and then touched it to my paper. You know, like, who would have thought? Maybe the ink will stay on my glue stick, or maybe the ink will go on the paper. Let's see. So the ink went on the paper. See right here? This blue circle here. So I want you all to try to use normal things that you find every day, like a rock. And I colored on the back of my rock. And then I scooted it across my paper, and the pigment from the marker ended up on the paper. So I want you all to try to use normal things in lots and lots of different ways. And then you're going to come up with a really cool piece of art, kind of like this. But at the end of Never Let Your Princess Paint with Her Unicorn, this beautiful thing happened, right? Do you all remember what happened? I remember what happened. So at the end of the book, her mother wasn't really that upset with her, was she? Her mother actually said, "Oh, you found your birthday dress," right? So that mess that she had made actually turned into something pretty beautiful. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on creating something with a bunch of different techniques or mediums, which means material. Media or mediums is another word for material. So we're going to work on that, and then we're going to turn it into something really cool and beautiful. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to draw some sort of shape that I like. What shape do you all think I drew? Any guesses? Maybe it's a hippo. Maybe it's a raccoon. Because hippos and raccoons are my favorite animals, in case you didn't know. Or maybe it is a jar of peanut butter. I do love me some peanut butter. Or I wonder, what do you all think it is? Just a few more seconds and I'll tell you. So, and I couldn't find a piece of white paper, so I used a piece of paper that was colored on one side and the back side was white. So I could go in and color on the back side, right? So if you can't find a piece of white paper, if you can't find your sketchbook, you can always find another piece of paper that maybe has white on the back, or you could even do this with newspaper. That would be really cool to see what happens if you make a bunch of marks on newspaper, maybe. So here is what I have created. So I cut out my little shape from the paper that I had made all those really cool unconventional marks on, and I created a beautiful thing. So this thing, I thought it was going to be a dog, but now looking at it, it kind of looks like a squirrel. Maybe. I don't know. So it's some sort of really cool animal that I've created. So you're going to make marks on your paper with an unconventional supplies, like the bottom of your glue stick or a rock. Maybe you could put paint or some sort of pigment on your scissors and then draw with your scissors. Who knows? But tomorrow when we come back to class, you all are going to get to show everyone the little shape that you have created. So let's talk about the steps one more time, okay? So the steps that you are going to take are, you've already read the book, right? The second thing we're going to do is we are going to walk around our house, preferably with a grown-up, find random stuff. Then you're going to somehow apply pigment or coloring. Pigment is another word for coloring. Pigment onto your paper, so you can either use markers to do that, or you can, like I did, use markers on my glue stick and rubbed my glue stick on my paper, or you can even do like color on your paper with markers and then take a cup of water or a spray bottle and spray your paper and see what happens, right? There's all kinds of different things you can do. There is no limit to the possibilities you can do today. I just cannot wait to see what kind of cool stuff you all come up with. So you're going to get random stuff, add pigment to your paper. I'm writing this down for you all. And then, what is the third thing you do? Do you remember? The third thing we're going to do is cut out a cool shape. And then the fourth thing is keep up with it so we can show Miss Miller tomorrow, okay? So, we're going to find random stuff. We're going to add pigment to paper with the random stuff. We're going to cut out a cool shape and then keep up with your artwork to show Miss Miller. So if you all want to pause the video so that way you can see what the steps are and see my example here, that would be wonderful. Happy making, guys. Bye.